Hey everybody, this is my 125 gallon native tank, and I just remembered I've got my minnow trap out. It's been out there for 2 days. I always forget when I throw that thing out there. I'm getting ready to go out on the kayak. I'm actually in the process of getting ready to go. I've got the kayak loaded up on the truck already. So we're just going to run down real quick anyway and grab that minnow trap, see what's in it, bring it back, and throw everybody here in the tank so I can get out on the kayak. It's a gorgeous day out and I feel like I'm burning daylight here, but I also want to get that minnow trap taken care of since it has been sitting there for a couple of days already. So let's get right to it and I'll see you down the street. Alright everybody, we're off. Now, as I mentioned, I've already got my kayak sticking out of the back of the truck. So that prevents me from backing out and turning around and going down the street, which is what we need to do. So we're going to have to go up the street and we're going to do the rural equivalent of driving around the block. We're going to go down, make a right, go up to the end of that road, make a right, come down, and then we'll hit the bottom end of my street and we'll come back up to it. So we've got a few minutes to chat, and that's alright because I got plenty on my mind and I've been thinking about how I'm going to get all this into different videos. I got all kinds of stuff going on in the fish room right now. I've also got stuff coming up with the Patreon channel. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that and how to do it, so I'm sort of working on that at the same time. I'm planning on eventually working my way up to doing some sort of giveaway maybe, or something like that. Just something to make the channel more interesting and interactive and exciting. I'm really kind of excited about the channel. I really feel like I want to go from just the idea of me, you know, shooting videos of my hobby to something that actually is going to be fun for everybody rather than just listening to me drone on about my fish and so on and so forth. So again, I don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but whatever it is, it's going to be better than the way it's been going, I hope. Anyway, so I'm always up for feedback. I always want to hear back from everybody to find out what you think. One of the giveaway type things I've thought about as something I could do would be my water sprite. I'm always trimming water sprite out of my tanks. I got tons of it. Now, of course, you'd have to keep in mind that if you're getting it from me, it's probably going to have cyanobacteria on it. Or, who knows, maybe I could set up a tank specifically just to let water sprite grow, and then I could just give that away or something. I don't know. There's a ton of ideas, and every 5 minutes I have another one that rolls through my head. I've even had people suggest that I make like hats or t-shirts or something like that, which I think is absurd. Why anybody would want to pay money to have a t-shirt with my face on it, or a logo that I'd have no idea what I'd even come up with. I don't even know where I'd begin to come up with some idea for a hat or a t-shirt. Again, that seems a little ridiculous to me, but I'm always up for suggestions. Anybody has an idea they want to throw at me, then by all means throw it at me. And I'll listen to it. It's always worth, you know, taking other people's ideas. So, the other thing I've got going on that I haven't mentioned yet, I'm probably going to go into more detail first through my Patreon page, and then it'll make its way to YouTube later on. But I'm doing something right now that's actually costing me money, and that's another reason that I've sort of thought that I want to try to, you know, pay for this stuff that I'm doing by doing it. So I'm gonna have to try to build up a little suspense for that. I've got plenty of stuff to build the suspense about, because again, I've got a lot going on in the fish room right now. So we're not even back on my road yet. We still got to go all the way down to the bottom of the hill here, and then we'll be making a right and heading back up from the bottom end of my road. I told you this was going to be the rural version of going around the block. It's about a 5-mile trip or something like that. I don't know what it is, maybe 2 miles, something. But at any rate, I've got some stuff going on that's actually costing me money, and it's going to be exciting. I know everybody is going to be happy with what I'm doing, but I'm not ready to talk any more detail about that just yet. It's going to involve a little bit of coordination with my wife and a few other things that have to happen in order for this to actually start developing. But I have begun spending the money on it already. So that's definitely something to be excited about and to look forward to. And that will be forthcoming very soon. It's something I want to get started on. So as soon as I begin the project, we'll be talking about it. And now we're back on my road, and all we got to do is come right up here and around the corner, and we'll be back at the little stream, and we'll be facing the proper direction that I'll be able to simply stop and we can get out. So give me half a second and I will see you over by the bridge. See, it's hard to back out with that sticking out of the back. Alright, the cord is still there, so there's a pretty good chance the trap is still there. Let's see what we got today. Oh, I can already see some big crayfish in it. There's quite a few big crayfish in there. Well, that is definitely going to make for an interesting environment in the bottom of the tank. And there's still some cornbread left in there. That is hard to believe that that's actually cornbread, and it has been in that water for all those days. Well, let's try that again. All right, let's try that a third time. There we go. So we're just going to run these back up to the house, throw them in the tank, and then that'll be that. Well, I figured you'd come this far with me. We may as well spend the rest of the trip together. We've only got a little drive up the top of the street here, and we'll be back at the house. So, in my final rambling thoughts, give me your feedback about this type of video, a sort of, I don't know, I think of them as sort of rambling chats, stream of consciousness, because if you want to do a sort of hanging out with Dan kind of video or something like that, I can do that all day. One of these days I will get around to doing a live stream. A lot of people ask me to do that. Even the thought of doing that just makes my head hurt. I wouldn't know how to set my camera up on the streaming to the Wi-Fi. I'd have to have my phone set up so that I could read the comments coming in and all that. So if I ever do the live stream, the first place I will do that will be to a much more limited audience, and I'll do that through my Patreon, depending on if that's something people would want there. But as far as like a hanging out with me, kind of sitting around chatting about stuff, whatever's on my mind, if that's the kind of video you like, let me know, because I can do those kinds of videos, and they can be long long-winded videos. I can do that all day long. If that's something you find utterly annoying and you wish I'd shut the hell up sometimes, that's fine too. By all means, I've heard that more than once throughout my life too. So let me know what you think, and we'll see where we go from there. In the meantime, I'm going to get these downstairs, and I will see you in the basement. Alright everybody, there you go. So I definitely wanted to get this on video because it's always fun watching a big pile of crayfish fall to the bottom and then scatter around and look for places to hide. Get this thing set down for a minute. There we go. So it's about typical for what we usually see when we throw a bunch of crayfish in here. They don't really fight or anything. They might sort of jostle for position and grab at each other a little bit, but nobody's fighting or becoming territorial just yet. At this point, it's a big scramble for cover. Everybody's just looking for a place to hide. They usually wind up making their way back here towards the corner. A lot of times where you will see issue is the new crayfish dropping into the tank. They don't know where everybody else lives, and so they just start trying to find their way in. Here's a good example right there. The new crayfish will just come along and try to find their way into any little nook and cranny they can find, and in this case, someone lives in that one. He's cleaning house right now and moving some stones out of there and making room for himself. So anybody running in there just in a mad dash for safety is going to find a very unhappy homeowner who is going to try to run him back out. So we will see little tussles like that occasionally, but usually it's more like this kind of stuff here, where we see a big pile up in the corner and everybody's crawling over top of each other, and it's literally the equivalent of a mad dash for safety, but it's crayfish speed. They're not exactly sprinters and very agile. They can dart and dash with their tail as a sort of flight mechanism, you know, a panic mode, but just scrambling for cover when there's no immediate threat to them is a little bit different. They don't really have the mobility to really run and scurry, so to speak. They just kind of scramble around until they find places to go. Looks like we might be seeing a little bit of a confrontation right here. That is a crayfish right there just to the left, so we've got two crayfish trying to get in the same spot. Sorry if this video looks funny. I'm using my camcorder instead of my phone. My phone's the video of choice, or my camera of choice that I've used for years and years. And because of recent events that I've already discussed, I can't really use my phone anymore on these multi-part videos. So I'm trying to get used to using my camcorder a little more. The thing that drives me crazy is it's got that zoom on it, which can come in really handy, but can also very easily be overused and annoying. So I try to take it easy on that. Like I say, I'm just sort of trying to get used to using this video camera altogether. So anyway, that's about it. I'm going to wrap this up. I feel like it's been a long, rambling video, and I really do hear that reservoir calling. I want to get out there on the kayak. So look forward to that. If you're interested in my outdoors videos at all, or you like going on my fishing trips, my kayaking trips and stuff like that, I do those as well. Not nearly as often as I do my fish stuff, but I do like to do my outdoor stuff too. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss any of that. And don't forget, this one is my native tank. I've got lots of others, but this is my native tank. So thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to sign up for my Patreon channel if you want some extra goodies. And I'll see you real soon in the future.